Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing excellent, thank you. Your TV show is unreal.
Oh, you've taken a look at it?
Oh, yes, I have. And holy crap, dude. It is unbelievable.
What'd you like about it?
Well, see, now that sounds weird. You know what I like? I like when you guys got to go out and rescue all. No, I mean, it's a
high-stress atmosphere.
No, it is. It's a view that I got to be honest with you. It's a view that I never thought that I would see of what goes on during a war. Like, I've seen war movies, and you see things that, they'll say, like, oh, this took place during a war, or kind of a dramatization of a war. But I guess with National Geographic, they sent their cameras to kind of embed with you. And I guess it's a part of a war that you never see, where your job as a PJs or pararescue, you guys go out and you pick up soldiers that are injured.
Not only soldiers, you'll see civilians, and then the ANA or Afghan National Army picking them up, and other coalition forces too. It gets pretty tense in there, and the cameras, like you said, you had never seen anything like it before. There's 40 cameras on the helicopter. They've got cameras on each of our helmets, so you're going to see like what you saw. Almost like I've heard people say, like a video game, just about.
Like, one of the things that's weird is, like you said, like it's up on your helmet. There's a camera on your helmet, and so like there's one scene in particular that it's you and Barry, and this is his first deployment, and it's your third. And one of the rescues you guys go on is to go pick up 2 American soldiers that have been hurt. One was hit with one lost the bottom part of their leg to an IED, and then the other soldier was hit in the arm or shot in the arm. And the thing that I love is it's everything from the call to that you guys need to go, which I want to get to that in a second, and then it's you guys running to get onto the helicopters. You fly in the helicopter, you land in a field essentially. But then there's stuff that I would have never taken into account, like you don't know if there's other IEDs there. You don't know if there's other people who are waiting in ambush to kind of shoot at you guys. You have to be careful to talk to the right medic so that, number one, you get the paperwork right. But in some cases, you don't want it to be the enemy who's infiltrated, who's going to kill you when you land.
Those are all good points, and those remind us of the risks that we take, so others may live,
Hey, can I ask you this? And I don't know if you remember every detail of what happened while you were on the helicopter on the way back. And I don't know if you've gone back and been able to see the episode, but there is such a great moment when those 2 guys are in the back of the helicopter and you guys are flying them to the hospital. And one of the soldiers, and again, these guys are, I'm not trying to hype it up, but I mean, it's real life. There's a guy laying in the helicopter who's missing part of his leg. There's blood everywhere. There's another guy whose arm looks like hamburger meat. I mean, it's disgusting, and it's not Hollywood. It's real life. And there's one scene in particular where one of the guys reaches his hand over and puts it on the other dude's chest, almost to like comfort him and be strong for him. And I was thinking, that dude just got shot up in the middle of a field, but at that moment he thought, you know what? I'm going to reach over and I don't know if there's any comfort in this, but I'm just going to put my hand on this dude's chest and hopefully he feels better.
It's all about your fellow man, That's, those guys are roughing it out there, and when they're together, that bond, they obviously had a strong bond. Their team was probably really, bummed when they had to go.
Sure.
And that comforting hand is seen a lot, especially when we pick up, more than one dude. They're all looking out for each other and not themselves, which is awesome.
And by the way, do those helicopters? Did I read right? Those helicopters that you guys are in, they go 150, 180 miles an hour.
We go with knots. So, yeah, pretty much. I would say so. I'm not like...
We don't know that.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know your language, but why would you know mine? I get that. But anyway, the point I was going to make is, so you guys go, you get back up in the air. You guys are flying. I mean, and Matt, will you explain for everybody what golden hour is, just so we're real clear here?
So we get the call, we get all the information that we need to, launch, and as soon as we get that launch authority, the golden hour starts. So we are literally sprinting every time to the helicopter. It's us, the air crew, the maintainers, making sure that the helicopter, the rotors are spinning and, everything's working correctly. Everyone's got their own job to do. Like, we're prepping med gear in the back or, for whatever reason. And the golden hour represents the survivability for that person. So if we get them back before then, they have the best chance of recovering fully,
Right.
That's basically what it comes down to.
Because when you guys finally and time's ticking and everything keeps getting referred to as there's not much time left in the golden hour and there's minutes left in the whole thing and you can hear you guys, like you said, you guys got cameras on your helmets and stuff, and you can hear you guys yelling to each other what needs to be done about give this one a shot, this one needs blood, but you can see the helicopter and you guys moving around. I don't know how the hell you guys can find where you're supposed to put a needle in.
That's what we train. Our training is very important, and we do it more so than anything else at work, really.
And I mean, the other thing is, and it's not like, and people will see this when they see the show, is it's not like you guys have like a nice hospital setting that you're working. You're crawling on the ground in the back of a helicopter that's flying around, and that's the other thing. How much blood and God only knows what else ends up on the floors of those helicopters every time you land.
It may look like a lot, but really, it's a couple hundred cc's of blood, really.
See, that's where you and I don't speak the same language again, because to me,
tablespoons.
100 cc's looks like a lot of blood.
Yeah, for real. I understand.
Hey, can I want to go back to one thing that I saw that also kind of freaked me out a little bit. On another run, and I believe Trevor was with you guys on this run, and it's you, and it's Barry, and it's Trevor. And then obviously the guys flying the helicopter and backup and everything. But you land, and one of the guys that you're picking up is an Afghan soldier. And he was, I believe he suffered a gunshot wound. And you guys are getting him into the helicopter, but one of his buddies doesn't want to leave him. And he keeps trying to climb into the helicopter, but there's this conversation about you want to make sure that there's no green on blue and that somebody hasn't infiltrated, and you guys are yelling at him, you can't get on here, back up, and he won't stop, and he keeps trying to climb into the helicopter. I was like,
and it gets heated.
Oh my God, dude, what the hell is going to go on?
That was an interesting flight. That was the first time I had experienced anything like that, and it was weird having that conversation before we went out, from the intel officer there, and it's just there's a fine line. You didn't want to be too aggressive with them, but then again, you had to get the guy out of there, so we had to make sure that we had to pull him off.
I wanted you to be aggressive with him. Trust me, I wanted you to. Because the whole time I'm like, oh, this isn't going to end good. Something bad's coming out of this. And he just kept going. And I mean, I guess that's his, he wants to be there with one of his brothers. But I was like, oh, my God, dude, get off the helicopter, please. Quit trying to climb in there.
Yeah.
Hey, the call to let you guys know that you need to scramble and it's time to go get onto the helicopter. Whose idea was it to pull out the Leroy Jenkins?
That's the intel guy, I suppose. I'm not sure, but that's the first time I heard that. I knew what Leroy Jenkins was from, but
right.
That's just their thing. When I was that was Kandahar. When I was at Bastion, it was like a bomb exploding.
Oh my God!
So you'd have the intel guy hanging around, then he'd hear it's based off of a keyword, really. If it comes into the little chat room or whatever, and it says a keyword or whatever it is, it makes that noise. So that's how he knows to look for a possible mission drop.
Okay, very good. And can I tell you the other thing that really pissed me off a little bit is I not as an adult, but as a kid, I feel like we all had like remote control stuff, and everybody got the remote control helicopter. And as a kid, you'd get it up in the air and it would nosedive right into the ground. Jesus Christ, you guys are good with that thing.
Well, we had quite a bit of practice. That's what we what we did in our spare time usually. It was pretty good.
Well, I'll tell you, Inside Combat Rescue, Monday nights, 10 o'clock on the National Geographic Channel. Sergeant Blankenship, the show is fascinating. They really did such a nice job with it.
Thank you very much.
You got it. I appreciate it. Thank you, Sergeant.
Not a problem.